Hi my lovelies, welcome, come on in. Please let me know you can see and hear me in the comments below if you're watching, that would be awesome. Just give me a quick hello, hi, I'm excited, whatever it is. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about 3 tips to fully experience your inner winter. And I just want to sort of start by saying that this is going to be different for everyone. These are just some things that really work for me, and I know that work really well for some other ladies that I've been talking to about these kind of things. So, number 1, and I think you all know this is coming, rest, okay? You need to rest or you're going to feel fatigued. It's a biological fact that you're producing more blood, so yeah, your body needs more nutrients, it's using things up. So if we're not resting, we're not going to feel good. And I think the key to resting is recognizing that this is not something that is holding us back. It's not making us like a bad feminist if we're not resting. Oh, someone's just joined. Oh, blocking the camera. Can't see who you are. Oh well. Give me a wave if you can see and hear me, that would be awesome. So yeah, you need to rest, and it can be difficult to do this, of course, like if you've got a really busy life, if you've got kids, if you've got various commitments, but it's just using like a few little techniques here to make that easier. So even if you've got like the most crazy day in the whole entire world, just taking like a 10-minute lunch break or going, out into the park if you can, or sitting and doing your yoga nidra or your pranayama just for 10 minutes, like even in the bathroom, if that's all you can do. It's just taking that time for yourself in the best way possible. And if it is possible, taking that time to work from home, maybe even not working at all, taking those 3 days off if you're lucky enough to work for yourself, or you can organize your schedule and timetable to do so. So yeah, just have a really good think about how you might incorporate more rest into at least the first 3 days of your bleed if you can. If you can do it for more than that, awesome. Okay, so I know I've talked a lot about rest already in the group, so I'm not going to go on and on about that. The second thing I want to talk about is using this rest time, if you have it, to engage in your spiritual practice and actually meditate more. And yeah, there's 2 reasons for this, really. Hey, Margarita, welcome. So lovely to have you here. Let me know if you've got any questions as we're going through. I'm just running through our 3 tips. So we've had rest already, and now we're on to meditating. And the reason for that is that the veil between worlds is much thinner for us when we are menstruating. It's a really beautiful superpower that we have, and I think this can help us to take that, need to rest as more of I need to go and engage in my spiritual practice, because this is the best time out of my entire cycle to go and do that. I'm going to be so much more calm. Hey Jamie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Lovely to have you here. So just definitely take that time, go and do your yoga nidra, and you'll find that it's just so much easier to drop into a really relaxed, chill state. So let me know in the comments, actually, if you do meditate while you're menstruating, do you find that it is easier to drop into these states? Or maybe, unfortunately, you might just be in way too much pain to, be able to fully calm down your mind. But I've also spoken to a lot of women that find that when they are experiencing that large amount of pain, they actually, if they really settle into it, don't take any painkillers or anything and just lie there and accept the pain, can get actually quite a euphoric feeling that comes through, I guess, from the, all the endorphins and everything that is being, naturally released by the body to try and deal with the pain. So there's even that side of it as well that's really interesting. So definitely meditate, best time to do it. And by meditate, I don't mean sit there and have a clear mind. That is such a misconception about meditation, that is what it is, and that is super, super advanced. I can't do that for 20 minutes straight. I can't sit there and have no thoughts. And even if you talk to really advanced practitioners, they'll tell you they still think while they're meditating. They just get into the observer head state and they can watch the thoughts come and go without feeling attached and getting engaged in them. So when I say go and meditate, I mean Go and observe your breath. Go for a walk and feel your feet on the ground. Go and do your yoga nidra and focus on different parts of your body. And when these thoughts do come in, recognize that every time you bring your attention away from the thoughts and back to the breath, the body, whatever your meditation practice is at that time, you're making the brain that much stronger. And the more that you do these things, obviously, you're going to get longer gaps between thoughts, and you're going to find it easier to observe thoughts. But yeah, I just want to wipe that thing out there straight away. Like, you're going to think while you're meditating. It's a fact, especially at like the level that most of us, I'm guessing, probably are at right now. So having that self-acceptance. Well, I've got a few others joining, I think, but I can't see who you are. I'm giving you a wave anyway. So the final thing I'd love to talk about, and this, I guess, is a personal choice and more of an optional one. Well, they're all optional, of course, so you don't have to rest and meditate. But this is adorning yourself. So number 3 is wearing red or orange or pink or these kind of like fiery colors. Maybe using red sheets on your bed, having a red towel, lighting red candles, bringing some red into your life while you're menstruating. It's kind of a thing of decorating your temple in a way. I think for me personally, I went through this kind of journey of used to put like slapped the makeup on every day for school when I was like 14, like ridiculous, like would shave my legs all the time, was absolutely humiliated if I had to like show my legs without being covered in fake tan. So it was all this like slapping it on, and it wasn't decorating my temple, it was hiding my temple being my body. And then I went through this phase when I was like kind of in my 18, 19, early 20s of being like, nah, I'm not wearing any feminine clothing whatsoever. I'm a tomboy. I'm just going to be like a traveler and wear hippie clothes and like never wearing makeup. And then now, as I'm coming, I guess, more into my womanhood in a sense, I'm starting to want to wear makeup, and like not all the time, but in a way that more like coming from a place of decorating my body. And when I put red lipstick on when I'm menstruating, it feels like powerful in a sense. And yeah, maybe I don't like shave my legs all the time, and I'm definitely not fake tanning anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but on my skin tone, there's no chance that it's looking anything apart from orange on a white background, very like blue background basically, which I'm beginning to love more and more. So this is where this whole idea comes from. I know I'm kind of saying it in a convoluted way, but decorating your temple doesn't have to come from trying to hide your insecurities. It can come from a place of like spirituality in a sense. So yeah, get a red towel, get red sheets, wear red clothes, nice flowing dresses if that's your thing. And this is like a very personal thing to me and some other people, and you might do this in your own way. It might not be about what you put on your body or surround yourself with, but maybe it's like changing your phone background to red, you know, like while you're menstruating, or there's so many different ways that you can do this. So I'm just throwing a few things out there that are personal to me, but not at all a standard that anyone else should try and meet. Explore your own things, follow your own woman's intuition. That's something I missed when we were going through the meditating one. So number 1 was rest. Number 2 is take time to meditate with your spiritual practice. Number 3 is wear red. And just going back to number 2 very briefly, the reason that this is such a powerful time for us menstruators as well is because we have access to our woman's intuition on such a higher level when we're menstruating, because you'll find that if you're really starting to like listen to your higher self, which might sound a bit kooky, but that's where your kind of woman's intuition lives. And maybe if you're into this kind of thing, like your soul, your spirit, maybe that entity that's within you that's been through past lives, if you subscribe to that kind of reincarnation belief. So that entity that's up there, that kind of observer head state that's always with you, is able to kind of feed you information when you're menstruating, which can be really incredible. Like, you might just find that you've been having a problem for like the whole month, don't know how to deal with it, like have tried thinking it through, talking it through, and then suddenly when you're menstruating, the veil just opens and you're like, that's what I should do. And that's that's not necessarily to say that's the time to like make a plan of action, but it's the time to do lots of journaling and just let things flow through you. And honestly, you'll be amazed at what comes out. Like, sometimes when I'm doing this, the things that come out, I'm like, I didn't even know that on a conscious level. That's come from something higher. And people talk about it as if they're like downloading information from the universe, which I think is a really nice way of putting it. But yeah, if this is all sounding a little bit too much, that's okay. It's not like for everyone at all. But yeah, woman's intuition, if we can tap into that at this time, it is really, really bloody magical. No, well, pun intended, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to call it there. Does anyone have any questions if you want to shoot those through about any of this? So number 1, resting. Number 2, meditating / women's intuition / relaxing. And number 3, decorating your temple. So I'll just wait a couple of seconds for any comments about that to come through. And if you're watching this afterwards, by the way, please tap away in the comments if you have any questions, or even just comments on stuff that I'm saying. If you agree, maybe you disagree, maybe you've got another way of doing these things. And I'd also love it if you could shoot through if you've got any things that you do that I haven't mentioned at all, because I've only mentioned 3 brief things here. So anything that you do that helps you to fully experience your inner winter, chuck them down in the comments, and I'd love to see that, and I'll get back to you in the comments as well. And that's it. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me, Margarita and Jamie, and anyone else who tapped in. Sorry if I didn't say hi. And we'll be here at the same time next week, talking about our inner spring and how to get the most out of that time in our cycle. Alrighty, bye for now.